Candace Owens is a polarizing figure in the Black community. Not only is she an open Black Republican and conservative, which is quite rare when you understand the overall voting patterns of Black Americans, she has had some really controversial things to say about specific events and things that have impacted the Black community.
I've been pretty outspoken. I even think Black History Month needs to go away.
Everything from her stance on George Floyd.
George Floyd has a rap sheet, and I'm going to remind you guys of it again today.
To her position on police brutality.
Physically disgusted by LeBron James. I think he is despicable. I think LeBron James should have all of his sponsorships taken from him for putting the face of a heroic police officer and saying you're next to him, and then doubling down, okay? And turning around and saying that this girl deserves justice.
Believing that Juneteenth is a made-up holiday, she has said many things that we all can agree are incredibly controversial. But one thing she recently said that almost all of us can agree on is this simple fact that bashing Black people has been and continues to be big business. I want to show you a tweet that recently went viral where she actually admitted to this. Now, the backstory is Candace Owens has made her career criticizing Black culture for some years now. And for the most part, you know, she's gotten some controversies and pushback, but no one has really cared. But more recently, she has had some very negative things to say about Israel and her positions on Zionism and everything related to the war. And since then, she has faced not only a lot of scrutiny, but there has been significant changes to her employment and other things that have been impacting her day-to-day life. More recently, people are calling for her account to be banned because of a recent rant that she went on where she was criticizing the Jewish community. In response to the controversy and the pushback that Candace Owens has been receiving since she decided to start criticizing the Jewish community, this user had this thing to say. They said, "Interesting. I don't recall anyone getting this triggered when Candace Owens was dunking on Blacks," right? So this person is saying, y'all got all the smoke when she decides to go after the Jewish community, but she's been going after the Black community for all this time and nobody's pressed. That's basically what this person is alluding to. But what's even more interesting is Candace Owens' response. She said, no, that was always allowed and encouraged. That was always allowed and encouraged. So basically she's saying, yeah, there is business in bashing Black people. There is business in bashing Black people. That is okay. That's fine. Nobody really cares. And this is why you can have Black people go on and bash and promote misinformation, say things that are just really degenerate, or do things that are quite frankly degenerate and undermining to the Black community, and nothing's really done. You might have a few Black people who go online and get mad, but they're probably not going to face being fired. They're likely not going to be losing their jobs. Like, nothing's really going to happen. That person is going to continue to have a microphone and be promoted. And there's a reason for this, right? If we understand the history of, if we understand the history behind media and Hollywood, and just really how all these different industries took place, and how many of them were based upon the degradation and promoting racist stereotypes, there has been a consistent theme of anti-Blackness in many of these industries, the media, Hollywood, even the music industry, for quite some time. But this is not the case for other communities. Now, I've always said the reason why you can have people, in my opinion, who are celebrated, who are promoted, who are given a microphone, who do nothing but denigrate the Black image or reinforce negative stereotypes about Black people, is because, again, we are not controlling our own media. There might be Black faces or Black bodies who are put in positions to quote unquote represent us, but they're not the ones making the decisions. They are working for people who are controlling the dollars, who are controlling these industries. And the people who are creating Black content for Black people are not Black folks, right? The people who are controlling those, it's not Black folks. We have not, in America, certainly, we have not been in control of our own messaging, and we're not in control of the different messages, video, content, even music that goes on about us. So this is why you can have this imbalance. You can have an industry, she admits to this, right, or a space where Black people are allowed and encouraged to be bashed, because these spaces are not funded and run by Black people, run by racist communities. It's that simple. So it's like, it's not surprising. There's always been an industry of Black people making money by denigrating our own image, or Black people being put in positions when they denigrate or they degrade our image, or they reinforce stereotypes. And it continues to be an industry today. I want to look real quickly to some of the feedback that I got. Now, here is my response, to it. It says, bashing Black people is a profitable business model for Black folks. It makes the job of racist elites much easier. It says, what constitutes bashing, right? What constitutes bashing? So just because somebody has something critical to say about something that's going on in the Black community, trend, does not necessarily mean that they are trying to tear down the Black community. There is a difference between constructive criticism. There's a difference between a critique that is ultimately meant to empower and build up a person and or people, versus a comment that is meant to tear them down. For example, if the mom goes to a child and says, hey, that outfit doesn't look right. That's your mom. If she's saying something, it's likely coming from a loving place. She's likely trying to protect you. Maybe it's too provocative if you're a girl, she wants to protect you, or maybe it's just too small and she wants to teach you how to find something that fits your shape. Whatever the reason may be, if your mom is coming to you and saying, hey, that outfit it doesn't look right, let's choose this. That's your mom. If she loves you, it's coming from a good place. That's different than a bully at school coming to you and saying, oh, that outfit doesn't look right. That bully wants to tear you down. They want to make you feel bad about yourself. They want to make you feel horrible, lesser than. They're trying to do anything that they can do to try to tear down your character. So that's like a prime example. They might be saying the same thing, but the intention is different. If your mom is saying, okay, that outfit doesn't work, it doesn't look right, she might now point you to an outfit or some items of clothing that are going to actually fit you and work better. Whereas that bully's going to say, that looks bad, you suck, and then she's going to go tell other people and spread business. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, again, two things being said, but one thing being said can lead to, here are some solutions, here's how we fix it, here's how we make it better, because you could do better. One is just tearing you down and saying, you're bad, you suck, and basically trying to diminish you as much as possible. So when you want to talk about bashing Black people, I think it really goes down to the motive behind it. And ultimately, what solutions are you providing? Are you saying this thing because you really care about Black folks? You really believe that there's better, you're pointing to different solutions, or you wanted to at least open up a conversation to talk about different solutions? Are you yourself deeply involved in the community that you're a part of? You're married to a Black, when you're building a Black family, you're involved in Black organizations, whatever it may be, for you to say, hey, I care. Or are you bashing Black folks and you're not even connected to the Black community? You don't even believe in creating a Black family. You don't even see Black folks ever. Like, you don't even like them. Really what it comes down to is what is the intention, and then what is being said with that point. Are you pointing them to different solutions? Are you pointing them to historical facts? Are you pointing them to another way of looking at it? Or are you just trying to tear them down? So I am one that believes, in order for a community to do better, there has to be time where there's constructive criticism. There has to be time where both men and women are called to the carpet and said, hey, you can do better. This needs to change. Like, there has to be a space for that. But there's a difference between somebody doing that because they love the community versus somebody doing that because they want to make money and are simply tearing the community down. They are different. Candace Owens basically alluded to is that there is an industry for Black people doing that who simply want to make money. And we all know it's true. The best way to handle taking control of your own image and taking control of messages about you is through you. It is ultimately up to Black folks to decide how they want to be represented. Period. End of discussion. If you want to see something different, if you want to see different things being promoted or said or done, it is up to you to promote those, or to support those, or to fund those, or to build those things that are ultimately going to uplift you. If you don't do it, it's not going to be done. And at that point, we can't really blame it on anybody else. Support your favorite content creators and support those who are promoting the messages that align with your goals and your visions. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later, okay? Bye. you.